Sounds like there's a lot of art involved in the science of building a company.
Yeah.
And that brings us to another critical element, the power of distribution.
Yeah, Teal absolutely shatters the myth that if you build it, they will come. He emphasizes that you have to actively get your product into the hands of customers, that distribution is just as important as the product itself.
He even uses a humorous analogy from The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy to illustrate this point, right?
Yes. He talks about the three ships, the A, B, and C ships. The A ship carries all the brilliant scientists and engineers. The B ship is filled with all the salespeople. And the C ship has everyone else. Everyone looks down on the B ship, thinking the salespeople are useless, so they banish them to Earth. But in reality, distribution is crucial.
It's like that saying, nothing happens until something is sold. But how do you go about finding those effective distribution channels? Is it just about spending a lot of money on marketing?
Not necessarily. Just like everything else in the startup world, distribution seems to follow the power law. Finding one channel that works exceptionally well, that's often more effective than trying many mediocre channels.
So it's about finding that one key that unlocks the door to growth, rather than trying to pick every lock in the house.
Exactly. And it often requires experimentation, testing different approaches until you find the one that truly resonates with your target market.
It's not just about selling the product, it's about selling the company itself. To employees, investors, everyone who needs to believe in your vision.
Absolutely. Everyone in a successful startup, in a way, is part of the sales team, even if they don't have that official title. It's about creating a shared belief in what you're building and why it matters.
This brings up another topic that Deal delves into, the relationship between humans and technology. In a world that's, increasingly dominated by automation and AI, what does the future hold for human workers?
Well, Teal, he challenges that fear that computers are going to replace humans entirely. He sees them as tools that can complement and enhance our capabilities, not substitutes for human ingenuity and creativity.
So it's not about man versus machine, but about finding ways for humans and machines to work together, each playing to their strengths.
Precisely. He emphasizes the distinct advantages of each. Humans excel at things like intentionality, decision-making, and navigating those complex situations. While computers, they are masters of data processing, efficiency, and speed.
So instead of fearing the rise of the machines, we should be asking how we can harness their power to, augment our own abilities to solve problems that have long seemed intractable.
Exactly. Thiel even suggests that the gains from working with computers, they can be far greater than the gains from, traditional trade with other humans. You get the benefits of a hyper-specialized trading partner without that competition for resources.
So in a sense, computers can be our allies, our collaborators in pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
That's a great way to put it. It's about shifting our mindset from seeing technology as this threat to embracing it as this powerful tool for amplifying human potential.
This reminds me of Thiel's analysis of the clean tech bubble, where he highlights both the failures of many companies and the surprising success of Tesla. It seems like a perfect example of how those 0 to 1 principles can be applied even in a challenging and complex industry like energy.
Yeah, it's a fascinating case study. It offers some valuable insights into what it takes to succeed in a sector that's often dominated by, these large established players. Thiel breaks down the 7 key questions that Tesla got right, starting with timing.
Timing is everything, right?
Yeah.
And Tesla seems to have hit that sweet spot, capitalizing on a moment when government funding for clean energy initiatives was readily available.
They did. They secured this massive loan from the Department of Energy right before that clean tech bubble burst, giving them a crucial advantage over their competitors. But timing alone, it wasn't enough. They also had the technology to back it up, a truly innovative electric car that was a significant leap forward from anything else on the market.
And they didn't fall into that trap of thinking that a great product would just sell itself. They actively built a strong brand and created a direct sales model, bypassing traditional dealerships and reaching customers in a whole new way.
Exactly. And that's another crucial element of the 0 to 1 framework, understanding the importance of distribution and finding those channels that unlock explosive growth.
So Tesla's success wasn't just about building a cool electric car. It was about understanding all those other elements that go into creating a valuable and enduring company, from timing and technology to team building and distribution.
Exactly. And it shows that even in industries that face these immense challenges like energy, it's possible to disrupt the status quo and create something truly new and valuable if you apply this fundamental principles of 0 to 1.
But building a company like Tesla is Incredibly difficult. Even for, the most talented entrepreneurs. Thiel himself acknowledges this, talking
Yeah.
about the unique characteristics of founders and the challenges they face. He even calls it the founder's paradox.
It's a fascinating observation. Thiel noticed that successful founders often exhibit this strange combination of, extreme traits. They can be brilliant and eccentric, charismatic and abrasive, driven by a singular vision, but also prone to self-destruction. He even suggests that their traits follow an inverse normal distribution, with more founders at the extremes rather than in the middle.
So it's not about fitting a particular mold or following a prescribed path. It's about embracing your own unique strength, even those that might seem unconventional or even contradictory.
Exactly. And Thiel argues that these seemingly paradoxical qualities, they can actually be an advantage, allowing founders to see the world differently, to challenge that conventional wisdom, and to make bold decisions that others might shy away from.
So think Richard Branson, who's not afraid to push the boundaries of, convention, or Howard Hughes, who retreated into seclusion as his fame grew, or Bill Gates, who became a target of antitrust lawsuits, and Steve Jobs, who was known for his, demanding leadership style.
All of these founders, despite their differences, they shared a common thread. They were outsiders in some way, driven by this belief that they could change the world, even if it meant defying the status quo and challenging conventional wisdom.
And it's that willingness to think differently, to embrace the unconventional that Thiel argues is essential for building companies that create truly new things. But what about the bigger picture? Where does all this innovation lead? What does the future hold for humanity in a world that's being so rapidly transformed by technology?
That's a great question, and it's one that Thiel grapples with in those final chapters of the book. Drawing on the work of Nick Bostrom, he explores 4 possible scenarios for the future of humanity: recurrent collapse, plateau, extinction, and the singularity.
Wow, that's quite a range of possibilities, from the, hopeful to the downright terrifying. Can you elaborate on each of these scenarios?
Sure. The first scenario, recurrent collapse, it suggests that history might simply repeat itself. Civilizations, they rise and fall in this, cyclical pattern driven by factors like war, famine, disease, or environmental degradation. The second scenario, plateau, envisions a future where progress just kind of slows down and we reach a state of stagnation, perhaps due to, dwindling resources or a lack of new ideas.
Both of those scenarios, they paint a rather bleak picture of the future. And then there's extinction, which is perhaps the most unsettling of all.
Yeah, extinction suggests that some catastrophic event, whether it's natural or man-made, could just wipe out humanity altogether. This could be, a global pandemic, a nuclear war, an asteroid impact, or some unforeseen consequence of our own technological advancements.
Those are some pretty sobering possibilities.
Yeah.
But there's a fourth scenario, right? One that offers a glimmer of hope.
Yes, and it's the hardest one to imagine, the singularity. This scenario envisions a future where technological progress accelerates so rapidly that it fundamentally alters the nature of human existence.
Thiel uses the term singularity to describe this point where technology surpasses human intelligence, leading to a kind of exponential explosion of progress that we can, barely even comprehend. It's both exciting and terrifying, isn't it?
Absolutely. And while we can't predict exactly how the singularity might unfold, Thiel argues that our task today is to find those singular ways to create new things, to go from 0 to 1, and to build a future that is not just different but better.
So instead of passively waiting for the future to happen, we have a responsibility to actively shape it.
Yeah.
To use our creativity and ingenuity to steer towards a more positive outcome.
Exactly. And that's a message that resonates even if you're not, a tech entrepreneur or a venture capitalist. It's about embracing that definite optimism, believing that we can create a better future through our own efforts, and finding those unique ways to contribute to the progress of humanity.
It's a call to action for all of us, regardless of our, background or profession, to think big, to challenge the status quo, and to embrace the power of human ingenuity to solve even the most, daunting problems.
Precisely. And that's what makes 0 to 1 such a compelling and thought-provoking book. It's not just about building companies. It's about building a better future for ourselves and for, generations to come.
We've covered a lot of ground in this first part of our deep dive, from the core concept of 0 to 1 to the power law of venture capital, the importance of believing in secrets, and the different scenarios for the future of humanity. But There's so much more to explore in Thiel's insightful book.
Absolutely. In the next part of our deep dive, we'll delve deeper into some of the specific strategies and tactics that Thiel's outlines for building those groundbreaking companies that can truly change the world.
We'll explore the importance of understanding your market, building a strong team culture, crafting a compelling narrative, and navigating the complexities of distribution and scaling. So stay tuned, and we'll be back soon to continue our exploration of 0 to 1.
Welcome back to our deep dive into 0 to 1. Last time we were talking about the big picture, the importance of creating something truly new, the surprising role of monopolies, and that power law dynamic, the one that shapes so much of the startup world.
We also explored that difference between, definite and indefinite optimism, and how believing in secrets can be so crucial for innovation. But now I kind of want to dig into the more practical side of things. How do you actually go about building one of these groundbreaking companies that Thiel is always championing?
Well, that's where Thiel really gets into the nitty-gritty of company building. And he starts with the idea of understanding your market. He argues that, it's not enough to just have a great product or service. You need to identify a specific niche, a group of customers who are, underserved and who will truly value what you're offering.
So it's not about trying to be everything to everyone. It's about finding that sweet spot where your unique offering meets a real need in the market.
Exactly. It's about, identifying that unmet need, that gap in the market where you can create something truly valuable and build a loyal customer base.
This reminds me of something else that Thiel talks about, the importance of building a strong team culture. It's not enough to just hire talented people. You need to create an environment where they can thrive and do their best work.
Absolutely. Thiel emphasizes that, building a company, it's not a solo endeavor. It requires a team of talented and dedicated individuals who share a common vision and are willing to work together to achieve something extraordinary.
Yeah. But building a great team culture, that's easier said than done, right?
Yeah.
What are some specific